I don't know about you, but I've often taken umbrage with this trend by Western media of lauding short-knickered freshers with titles such as Best 30 Under 30 or Most Achieving 100 Under 40, etc. There are many of them, too boring to list. Personally, I found it somewhat sinister with a huge dose of cynicism. Which brings me to the recent trending story of Obianwane Okeke, aka Invictus Obi. Obi has a CV that was not only the envy of his peers and even his elders, but also one which was celebrated on the international stage. At only 32 years old, Invictus Obi had already adorned the cover of Forbes magazine as the Forbes 30 Under 30, this was in 2016, featured on the BBC, delivered a TED Talk and even addressed an audience at the prestigious London School of Economics African Summit. His business portfolio spanned across many African countries, and the businesses ranged from oil and gas, agriculture, infrastructure, including solar energy, would you believe? Obi, as Group MD of Invictus Energy Group, had been showered with countless international awards. It was lauded to be one of the brightest stars to emerge from Africa. Now, we all know how the saying goes, ladies and gentlemen, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. That's right. So when news broke this week that the phenomenally bright spark from Nigeria was actually a corporate Yahoo boy, that's fraudster to you Oyinbo watchers, Nigeria's social media went on fire. According to the FBI affidavit released this week, Invictus Obi is alleged to have stolen an estimated $20 to $22 million from US companies from 2011 till date. Whopping. How could anybody have missed this? How did this go unnoticed? The gaping hole in this whole mess is that word, due diligence. The first blame, of course, sits squarely on Obianwane's shoulders. However, the second to international media houses, especially Forbes. The only reason I can fathom for Forbes not to have known this very simple fact is because they just simply didn't care. How does a 20-something-year-old get to be a big player in the capital-intensive industries such as oil and gas, real estate? Unless inherited, it's near on impossible. After all, we all know the genesis of Mark Zuckerberg's story. So why didn't anybody ask Obi about the genesis of his wealth? Which brings me to the third accessory of this crime, our society. These days, every young Nigerian who is yet to even register a business name is a motivational speaker. They are positioned on platforms higher than their grades, with invitations to lecture in grammar that's above their comprehension. Public speaking is now the ambition for millennials and Generation Zs, never mind if they have one single GCSE. It doesn't matter that they lack substance or experience. As long as they are young, above average articulation, sharp-suited, expensively weaved, combined with over 500,000 social media following, they must be worth the invitation. Of course, some of them also learn the trick from their mentors. I won't name any names. In this fast-paced era of digitalization, who has time for details, I ask, when all you have to do is just skim over the headlines? So I suggest to those of us who care, we go back to basics by scrutinizing our children's earnings and wealth the way our parents did to us.